Why Leadville? I get that question quite often, and people are like, you could have just went and did a 50 or 100 miler right here in your backyard. And they're right. Leadville was one of the first ultra races that truly captured my attention, seeing many of the other guys that I am inspired by pushing to overcome this extreme challenge. Out of 700 people, only 40% of the racing field will complete the race. This was one of those challenges that I felt were once in a life if I had got in. And I got in. Voluntary suffering. Voluntary suffering, that's the perfect way to put it. I was a 3-sport guy in high school. Football, wrestling, baseball, and then I lived in the weight room all the way through college. Cardio? Only if the coach made us run around the stadiums or suicides in practice. I thought runners were crazy. Fast forward a few years, and life hit me with trauma that I didn't have language for. Then cancer suddenly, I'm in the hospital getting chemo, bald, 25 pounds lighter, wondering if I'm ever getting out. That's when I realized something wild. The only time I ever felt peace was when I was hurting on purpose. Not the kind of hurt that's forced on you, the kind you choose. So I signed up for my first marathon, then kept pushing the distance. People thought I was nuts. But out there, when you are deep into the miles and your legs are screaming, your stomach is rejecting every gel, something inside you shifts. The trauma, the cancer, the nights I didn't think I'd see morning, they all line up behind me like ghosts that finally stop whispering when I'm in the hurt locker. I call it embracing the suck. In endurance, you learn that discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the doorway you walk through, and if you do it long enough, you find this weird quiet peace on the other side. It's the only place where my brain finally shuts up and I feel whole. The cancer took a lot, but it gave me the ultimate gift, the ability to sit in the fire and smile. I'm not running from my past anymore. I'm running straight into the version of me that can carry it. And every time I cross a finish line, I'm proving to that scared kid in the chemo chair that we made it, and we are still making it. Even if I haven't hit that 40-mile mark yet, every long run is another step toward proving I can handle whatever comes. Firefighting doesn't just test your body, it overloads your mind with images and emotions you can't unsee. You show up to people's worst days, kids in car wrecks, families trapped in burning homes, overdoses, suicides, things you can't unsee. You carry that weight home, even when you try not to. After a while, the constant adrenaline, trauma, it starts stacking up, and I needed a healthy outlet that matched that intensity. That's what pulled me into the endurance sports. The weight room and the team sports from high school and college weren't enough, and they were always my release. But I needed something more, longer, harder, where I could keep moving through the discomfort. The same way we have to keep moving on a fire ground. On the job, you learn real fast that firefighters can't afford to freeze. You are constantly moving, advancing hose lines, searching rooms, dragging victims, venting roofs. Standing still gets people killed, including you. That same truth carries over to the endurance sports field. When the miles get dark and your body wants to quit, you keep putting one foot in front of the other. Movement becomes medicine. It's how I processed the trauma I've seen and the trauma I've lived through. I wasn't a lifelong runner. Never liked cardio unless they forced it in high school or college, but I didn't need to be. Nobody needs to be a runner. To go do something hard, you just need the willingness to show up, stay moving when it hurts, and solve problems when the plan falls apart. I've dragged 200-pound dummies down smoke-filled hallways, and I've dragged myself through training runs and races. I've dragged myself through chemo intervals. Same muscle, different arena. The fireground taught me that real strength isn't just what you can lift, it's what you can endure when everything goes sideways. Endurance events became the place I prove it to myself, while also finding some peace in the middle of all that controlled chaos. When you deliberately seek discomfort, early morning runs in the heat, long efforts when your body screams to stop, you build stress inoculation. You train your mind and body to handle voluntary stress every single day. Science shows this rewires how you respond to challenges, better cortisol management, and higher pain tolerance. and an anti-fragile nervous system. The payoff? When involuntary hardship hits, cancer, loss, whatever life throws at you, you don't flinch. You've already practiced not quitting. You know you'll figure it out. Comfort is where progress dies. Choosing suffering is where grit is forged. I've lived that same mindset, and it's going to carry me through Leadville, and it's what carried me through chemo and every other tough chapter before. So if you're facing your own battle right now, remember, you don't have to be unbreakable. You just have to refuse to stay broken. I've only been running seriously for about 2 years. Most of my training happened right here on the flat roads and gentle trails of the Mid-Atlantic, which is at sea level, humid summers, and we only have a few mountains in sight, which is the Appalachians. This thing is no joke. It's 100 miles out and back through the Colorado Rockies. You start at over 10,200 feet, climb more than 15,000 feet of elevation, and hit a high point of about 12,600 feet at Hope's Pass, which you'll go over twice. That's the crux. Steep technical climbs like Powerline with over 1,700 feet, straight up rugged Colorado trail sections, thin air that makes every breath feel like you are sucking through a straw. At that altitude, studies show your aerobic capacity can drop significantly compared to sea level. Your body works way harder for the same effort and fatigue hits faster. Add in relentless ups and downs and it's pure suffering for 25 to 30 hours if you want that buckle. My training in Maryland, mostly flat miles, maybe some rolling hills at best, thick humid air instead of thin mountain oxygen. I can't replicate those long steep climbs or the constant high altitude grind in my backyard. My lungs and legs haven't even lived at 10,000 plus feet day after day. So yeah, Leadville is going to be brutally hard for a guy like me. The landscape is completely different, the conditions are unforgiving, and my 2 years of experience feels small against this beast. But that's exactly why I'm going. I've already learned from cancer and life's other battles that toughness comes from showing up anyway. I can't train in the exact same conditions, but I can show up with grit, smart preparation, and the refusal to quit. The flat miles here have built my endurance base, the heat and humidity have taught me to suffer, and Leadville will test every bit of that, and then some. But I'm ready to find out what I'm made of when the mountains try to break me. Leadville isn't just a race, it's a gathering of tough, passionate runners from all over the world who show up with heart and grit. I can't wait to meet fellow ultra runners, swap stories, and feel that shared energy on the starting line. And along the course, even better, the locals of towns that pour so much support into this event from Leadville itself. The historic mining town that embraced this race decades ago, to the welcoming folks in Twin Lakes who turn race weekend into a full-on celebration. The enthusiasm is electric. Crews cheering, volunteers giving everything, spectators lining the streets with pure energy and positivity. It's that community and spirit that makes Leadville special. People lifting each other up when the suffering hits hardest. I'm genuinely excited to be a part of it, to soak in the camaraderie and feel the town's enthusiasm and experience the magic that happens when runners and locals come together for one epic weekend. After treatment, I fell deeply in love with endurance sports. Running long distances, climbing mountains, pushing through walls. There's a special kind of healing that happens out there on the trail. It becomes almost spiritual. A one-on-one conversation with yourself, with your pain, and with something greater. My faith has grown tremendously through this journey, combining my relationship with Jesus and endurance sports between running, cycling, and swimming has taken me on a powerful spiritual path, and especially out in the mountains when everything hurts and you're completely alone with just your thoughts, you find a quiet place to talk to God and to surrender, and to discover strength you didn't know you had. Endurance has taught me that growth lives on the other side of suffering. Just like the lessons I learned from every missed swing in life, that's why I'm running Leadville this August. I want to show others just how incredible the human body and spirit can be when we choose to keep it moving forward through the pain. I'm not just running for myself, I'm running to raise money and awareness for First Descents, an amazing organization that gives young adults impacted by cancer and other serious illnesses the chance to experience free outdoor adventures, rock climbing, kayaking, surfing, so they can push beyond their diagnosis, reconnect with joy, and realize they are not alone either. If you've ever been touched by cancer yourself or through a loved one, you know that helpless feeling. This is one way we can fight back. Every mile I run through those rugged, lush, rocky mountain landscapes, every donation that comes in helps give someone else the tools to heal, to grow, and to reclaim their life. So when the pain comes on those long, dark stretches above 10,000 feet in Leadville's wild terrain, I'll remember the hospital bed. I'll remember the chemo. I'll remember the quote. I'll remember my faith. I'll remember the mountains that have helped me deal with this. I'll make friends with the pain because I know I'm never alone. If my story resonates with you, I'd be incredibly grateful if you consider supporting this journey and first descents. Together we can show just how strong the human spirit can be when we embrace the mountains, the pain, the growth that comes with it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in Leadville.